explanation of why I often can say that I do a 3-day ritual, 7-day ritual, or 11-day ritual instead of just one single huge ritual. And if you look at connecting to the spirit and learning and bonding with the spirits, especially the first time when you work with the spirit and so on, I think it's a respectful way to connect to them. And you also have to learn how to feel and sense the spirit and trust that it is there. And it doesn't, and if you don't, since we don't do journeying and that kind and visualization here, really it is more about direct and getting the inner knowing and learning to notice all the differences. And you will receive downloads, and you will notice the weak points in your surroundings and within yourself. And you will also start to learn and understand deeper issues that lies behind. And it takes time to understand and really start to act upon those. So that means that you have to learn that to accept that you have weak points in order to start to change them. And then weak points and shadow work and things like that, they occur. And every time I've got rid of some bad habit or something I want to change, then it comes back in a completely different form. So the problems don't just magically disappear, since we have free will and we always usually have things that are stopping us spiritually, if we say it like that. And you also learn to take action. And if you take, I use protection as an example here. You might get a feeling or sense that you must change your locks, or vary the route you walk home or to your work. Change your schedule so that you change them. Let's say that you leave home 5 minutes earlier or 5 minutes later, and so on. And those tiny little changes in your schedule and so on. But until you get to that point that you do it without thinking, that you really can trust your own intuition there to take those adjustments. If you have a stalker, for example, a change like this can actually save you from a lot of harm. But until you learn to really know what is real from guidance, or what is in your own mind, and what is really practical in the real life and can make a difference, you have to learn to balance those out and not to panic or freak out, and stay calm and just know within yourself that this is the right thing to do. And then instead of thinking of walking out of the door, you just simply feel one day that, no, I should go now, and then you put on your coat and you are off the door. And then when you come back from work, you see that something had happened, some crime, and then you get these little things that, or that somebody saw somebody hanging around there and they were arrested and so on. So you got these things, but they build up over time. So it is just a question about learning to trust and staying calm and just keep on going on with your life. And you also, even if you don't visualize or do anything of that modern things, you build up your auric shield. And you create a bond to the angel or angels or the spirits. And you learn to feel safe and protected, since many have also have that they never felt protected by a human being before. They never had that security that is very common nowadays. Everybody's doing their own thing and nobody's looking out for each other. And not everybody, I remember when I was a teen as girls, and we loved a rock concert and that kind of thing. So we went as, let's say, 4 or 5 girls to a rock concert. we went together and we never left one alone, like an example. So things didn't go so bad, since even if there was some teenage drama in there, we never left anybody alone or left them to take their own way home. We always worked together, and that is something that's missing from society today. People are going out and having drama, and then they are standing there alone, and just because of some silly thing. So if you leave with somebody, you return home with somebody, whether there is some drama or not. And then there is that you start to change your weaknesses and becoming wiser and stronger. And that is just like you learn how to brush your teeth in the morning, but these things to start to change it isn't just like I do it for 3 months and it's a habit. It actually takes years to change something completely. Like in exercise, many people can follow an exercise or diet program for 3 months, but then the rest of the year they don't. So that's why I say daily practice and do something every day. And even if it's just 5 minutes to a half an hour, but you just keep on doing that. And you can split those half an hour if you do 3 rituals a day, 3 rituals 10 minutes a day, or 1 ritual a day, and so on. And then you also are going to combine the wisdom and both within and without, and you have the angels and the spiritual wisdom inside you, since I think that once you called upon an angel, the place where the angel is within your soul, or where they talk to you, is it's activated, but then you have to take it out to real life as well, so that you can start to really live the magic. And then there are all these other things that occur, like dreams, intuition and senses, and you start to find completely different solutions, inspirations, having focus and creating, and ideas. You will gain sudden a burst of ideas. It can be of something that you never even thought about, or something you never done before, or you don't even like, and you still get ideas about those, and so on. And then there's the work of creating your angelical book or grimoire, or the book of spirits, or how do you call it. And since there is the importance, you write or draw your own sigil and the names at every and the most common things the angel can help you with, and I've talked about those are the most common things. But they also can teach you other things that isn't mentioned in the book, and what those things are depending on you, so they won't be the same for everyone. So I don't believe those who say that buy this book and you get a perfect result. No, it depends on you, who you are at your soul's core, since they see your soul and what are you meant to do in this world. So the purpose is to how you can understand what the angel is saying, and how you can grow from that, and how you can help others from your wisdom and what is unique about you. You might be good at healing and nurturing, taking care of people, being a businessman, creating businesses and employing and helping people that way, and become very successful and give other people a start and teach them how to work. And there are so many different ways, and everything is valuable. And then sometimes take some simple notes, since the angels, and keep them filling in your angelical book, and then you will end up with a couple of angelical books, since they teach you things over time. So what your mind can only understand what it is able to at the time. So when you get older, you start to understand more layers and more and more. So that's so what you understand that is the true reality as a 20-year-old, it will be completely different when you're over 50. And that is about everything. And like the safety issue, just to take an example, I had this friend who wanted to feel safe, so she was going on to buy this super bolt door with the iron around so it's unbreakable. And I just had one angel saying to me, but what about the wall? So if you are going to pay all this money for this door, when it's just as simple as to take an axe after the iron frame and break in within 10 minutes with an axe, or if you have a mechanical tool, since the wall is weak. So you have no use for that door. It's better to save the money and move instead in that case if you have weak walls. So it might be so practical and simple as this, but there is that one thing that you can get an insight you didn't realize before. And I knocked on the wall and I found out that it was a very thin wall, and I could have gone through the wall within a couple of minutes. I worked in construction, so I know how to do that. And that is just an example of saved, it was a door about thousands of dollars. And it was better to save those, and she found a different apartment in a safe building. She had an ex-boyfriend who was. So that was just an example in real life how it can change. And I hope this inspires you in whatever way you receive the messages, and have a magical, magical day, and bye for now.